Earvin Magic Johnson, recognized by most as the greatest point guard of NBA history. He was a 12-time All-Star, he made 10 All-NBA teams, he was a 3-time League MVP, 3-time Finals MVP, and a 5-time NBA champion. Magic was known for his remarkable leadership and his extremely unselfish approach to the game. He has the greatest assists per game average in NBA history at 11.2, ahead of John Stockton. Besides Magic and Stockton, no other player in NBA history averaged 10 assists or more for his career. He was just so far ahead of his time. He was a 6'9" giant point guard with the greatest court vision imaginable, who always wanted to push the tempo the instant his Lakers secured the rebound. Earvin Johnson was his birth name, but he earned the name Magic with his incredibly fast, flashy, and mesmerizing style of play. Magic is the definition of a player who makes his teammates better. Every teammate on the court had to be alert at all times because you never knew when Magic would find you, creating an easy scoring opportunity for you. I've actually seen people online criticize Magic for averaging just short of 20 points per game over his career, which to me is a silly criticism, considering that Magic has easily the highest assist per game average of all time. Of the top 10 players with the highest assist per game average in NBA history, Magic has the second highest scoring average among those players, behind only Oscar Robertson. Magic was also a clutch performer. Sure, he had his shortcomings and briefly had the nickname Tragic Johnson for his failures in the 1984 NBA Finals, but he easily redeemed himself from that, and beyond all of that are all the historic clutch moments and game winners of his career. From the baby skyhook in the 1987 Finals to his performance in the 1980 Finals. Speaking of the 1980 NBA Finals, if LeBron thinks that one significant series is enough to make his claim as the GOAT, then Magic has this one game to make his claim as the GOAT. Magic Johnson's rookie season was incredible. As a rookie, he averaged 18 points, over 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. It wasn't his numbers that made this season so legendary, though. It was what he did on the NBA's biggest stage. I'm sure most of you know this story already, but the Lakers were in a hard-fought NBA Finals against the talented Julius Erving-led Philadelphia 76ers. In Game 5 of the NBA Finals, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sprained his ankle and would not play again for the rest of the series. The Lakers were shorthanded and decided to start Magic Johnson at center for the 6th game of the series. Wrap your head around this for a second. Magic was the Lakers' starting point guard throughout the season, and as a 20-year-old rookie, he was tasked with starting in place of the great Kareem at center. What Magic did next sounds like it came straight from an over-the-top sports movie script. Magic dominated the game, playing at the center, forward, and guard positions at different points in the game based on whatever the Lakers needed on their lineup situations. The Lakers won the game 123-107, and Magic's final stat line was 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals. It was the definition of a clutch performance. Magic is still the only rookie in NBA history to win the Finals MVP award. Magic is also one of only 4 players to win the NCAA championship and the NBA championship in consecutive years. Imagine any rookie in this year's draft class doing what Magic did, starting the year as a perimeter player and then stepping in at center in the clinching Game 6 of the NBA Finals, dropping 42, 15, and 7. The internet would explode, and media would be declaring him the next GOAT before he's even played a game in his sophomore season. It sounds impossible to even fathom, but that's what Magic Johnson did before many of us were even born to appreciate it. This was just the beginning of Magic's illustrious career and of his dominance over the NBA. Magic played in only 12 seasons in the NBA before he announced his retirement due to the HIV virus he obtained. Magic Johnson went to the NBA Finals in 9 of those 12 seasons in the league. That is astonishingly efficient. He can easily be seen as the standard of NBA excellence due to this. How many other legends can say that they led their team to the finals 75% of the time in their career? Even Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe aren't even close to that level of efficiency. Magic, unfortunately, doesn't have longevity working in his favor. His all-time statistics were cut short, along with his achievements and accolades. Yet despite all of that, Magic still put a GOAT-worthy resume together in the short time he was in the NBA. When Magic's career came to an abrupt end because of the HIV virus, he was still an MVP candidate and still far from the end of his elite status. He was only 31 years old. He was at his career average of almost 20 points a game. He was second in the league in assists at 12.5 per game. He was a back-to-back MVP winner just a year prior, and he just led his Lakers to the NBA Finals only 2 seasons after the retirement of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Magic wasn't just great when his career was cut short, he was likely still the best point guard in the game and a top 3 player in the league. To further drive home the point, I want you to imagine if other NBA legends had their careers cut short as early as Magic's was, and think of how that affects their legacies. Dirk Nowitzki would no longer be an NBA champion. LeBron James would never have won his amazing championship in Cleveland. Shaq would have 3 titles instead of 4, Duncan would have 4 titles instead of 5, and Michael Jordan would have only 3 titles instead of 6. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook would all be entering their final season in the NBA this year. Beyond just all of the lost championships are all of the lost stats, MVPs, All-NBA appearances, and just accolades overall. There was truly a second half of Magic's career that unfortunately we never got to witness. No one ever talks about this aspect, but imagine if Magic never got HIV and had a career that lasted as long as other legends like Kobe, Duncan, Kareem, or LeBron, just to name a few. If that had been the case, Magic could have spent his final few years of his career playing alongside of a young Shaq and Kobe. Are you kidding me? I understand that in all of these what-if scenarios, there's the whole butterfly effect, and that if this what-if actually happened, it could have changed the entire league as we know it with all of its ramifications. With that being said, Shaq signed with the Lakers in free agency. That's still something that could have easily happened even if Magic Johnson was around. Kobe also wasn't drafted by the Lakers, so draft position didn't really matter. He was scouted by the brilliant Jerry West, who fell in love with the young prospect and traded for Kobe. Even with Magic Johnson still around in the twilight of his career, both of those moves could have still easily taken place. How does this change Magic's legacy if he's adding titles alongside of Kobe and Shaq to end his career? Now let me be clear, I'm not saying we should give credit to Magic for stuff that didn't actually happen, but what I am doing is trying to show the impact that longevity can have on a player's career and legacy. I'm also trying to bring an appreciation to what Magic was able to accomplish in far less time than just about every other legend of NBA history. If you want a player who's the definition of making his teammates better, Magic Johnson is your choice. If you want a legend who's leading his team to be title contenders for his entire career, then Magic is your guy. If you want a GOAT who saved the NBA, changed the way the game is played, and put on a show while doing it, then Magic Johnson is the man you're looking for. This is why Magic Johnson is the greatest player of all time.